What's going on, guys? Soldier Only here from Sports Nerd Web. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Dose for May 2nd. What I wanted to get into today. Yesterday we talked about comics' influence on entertainment, such as movies and video games and television. So for today's talk, I wanted to get into uh, video games adapted into film, into movies and television shows and things like that. Another reason why I wanted to get into this also is because Fuchsia Only and I are finally going to see the Assassin's Creed movie at some point this week, so we should be talking about our thoughts on that this Sunday on our podcast. So stay tuned for that. We're not oblivious to, the reviews and kind of the reception that it had. But at least I could speak for myself that I'm at least going into it with an open mind. But as far as traditionally in the past, uh, video games have not really been received well when they have been adapted uh, into film, into movies. There's movies. There was a Super Mario movie back in the day, like way back in the day, that was awful. There was even a Doom movie that had, Dwayne the Rock Johnson in it. That was terrible. Um, the list is endless, and I would probably honestly have to sit and think for quite some time to think of a video game adapted movie that was any good. You know. Then there was also the Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie, the ones they did with them. Those were like kind of okay, but still nothing too great. Another reason why I kind of wanted to talk about this is because there is several films in the works based on video games, and it's interesting because for the most part, most of them have kind of been having issues even getting off the ground and actually getting into principal photography to actually start shooting. Um, I mean, there there's there's a Division video or movie, excuse me, in the works. Then there's the Uncharted movie that has had directors hired and fired and left, and there still hasn't really been a solid any really solid news of who is playing Nathan Drake. There was rumors going around about Mark Wahlberg, which I was a little iffy on. He's a phenomenal actor, but I just don't know if I can really. I think he could play Nathan Drake all right because Mark Wahlberg is good in action and comedy. We've seen him in comedies, in the Ted movies. And stuff like that. And then as far as the Division video movie, I did hear something about Jake Gyllenhaal being attached to it. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't really heard much on. That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard much on these video game adapted movies that are in the works. You're not really hearing. They're not really progressing quickly. Uh, to some extent, it's actually still surprising that studios actually still put money into projects like this. There's the Resident Evil movies, right? That they made, I don't even know, like 6 or 7 of them. The supposed last one actually just recently came out. And the whole thing with the Resident Evil movies, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan of the video games, and one thing I've never liked about the movies is that they they from the very beginning they strayed quite a bit away from the source material, from the video games. The main character Alice isn't even in the video games. She's an original character for the movies. And then it seems like every time that they have had characters or parts or anything to do with the video games, they seem so forced into the movies, and a lot of the times they don't even make sense. Like, I remember in one of the films when the big executioners with the big hammers that from Resident Evil 5, when they came into the movie, they literally just showed up out of nowhere in some kind of like building, some kind of like shower thing in a building, and it was just it was insanely bad. and they, like I said, they just felt really forced. For a lot of the moments, even some of the characters when they were in there, they literally made no sense of why they were in there or anything like that. And then other video game adapted movies in the past have just, that's pretty much par for the course. You know, really bad writing, bad acting, bad story, and but it is a tough line to walk because you don't want to make a film that's, you know, a straight, that's pretty much a straight pretty much like a straight copy from one of the games. You know, you don't want it exactly like how it was in one of the games, uh, you know, because it's all been seen and done before. I mean, there has to be some kind of balance of where it has the, where it has the elements and, you know, the good writing and acting and all that, and like the elements that you see from the game translated into the film. Hopefully, you know, hopefully the trend actually starts getting better. You know, 'cause like I said in the past, it just hasn't been very well for movies that are based on video games. Because there's been a lot of awful ones, and I can't, like I said, I can't, not right off the top of my head, I can't really think of that many good ones. And like I was saying, hopefully some of these ones that we know that are in the works will be a little bit better. Um, so pretty much we're just gonna have to wait and see on it. So that's pretty much gonna do it for today's edition of the Daily Dose. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and sub to the channel for more content. If you want to catch these talks live, I have them Monday through Friday at the beginning of my stream at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can always stop by and check those out. And you know, feel free to share your thoughts on the topic of the day. Share your thoughts in chat. I'll read them out loud, include them in the show. So yeah, stop by sometime. That's at twitch.tv/soldier only. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.